Skyla, and my mother has early onset severe Alzheimer's. She is only 48 years old, and it runs in my family. And I thought that this would be a good way to kind of discuss, I guess, her disease and I guess the family too. So my mother is 48 years old, and she was diagnosed in 2015 officially with early onset moderate Alzheimer's. And she was only 45 at the time, and being moderate, I mean, that's pretty, it's pretty bad. So just based on that, we know that she's had it for several years before she was officially diagnosed. We don't know the certain age. I mean, we go back and forth of, how her symptoms were and, how she acted and so forth. And, I mean, we can speculate, like, she got it when she was 42 or, or 44. It's these things that just kind of all make sense after she was diagnosed. And so we just say, she was officially diagnosed age 45 in 2015 at already the moderate stage. So by that time, my mother was unable to pay her bills. She was unable to have a job. She was unable to make any decisions. She didn't know the year. She would get confused about dates and other things. But she was still able to cook. She was still able to do laundry. I mean, she was still able to make a phone call. She was still able to, do all these normal things except for a job and to drive. And so, we kind of were just like, okay, we have some time before she actually needs help. And so she had become homeless before we got her officially diagnosed. And so she didn't have a home, she didn't have anything. And so we moved her in with her mother and her sister. And for the past 2 years, it's been a roller coaster. She's gone downhill so fast and in such a short amount of time that it's scary. It is very scary. April of 2017, I moved her as her POA and her oldest daughter. I moved her into a facility. And I know it was the right decision deep down. Yes, it kills me that I'm not able to take care of her, that, that she needs help, more help than we can give her. And it's sad. But in reality, the state doesn't help pay for, in-home care. And, well, not enough anyways. And with her being, homeless officially and, not having retirement funds and stuff, it's, it took a while to get her into a home. And just being off of Medicaid, which that's a whole nother video, let me tell you. Yeah. But anyways, so we moved her into the home in April of this year. And the day that we dropped her off was the worst day. And it was an adjustment period for everybody, not just for me or for my mother. It was, for the whole entire family of how, our roles were going to be reversed and how, she would need additional care. Just in the past 4 months, her speech has declined. She is stuttering a lot. She is now wearing adult diapers, which before she moved in, she was having trouble using the restroom. She would have accidents here and there. She didn't understand that the toilet paper went into the toilet. She would put it either on the floor or in the trash can. She would forget to flush. She would forget to wash her hands. And before we moved her into the facility as well, we would have to coax her and fight her and trick her into the shower because she would not bathe. And she was scared of the shower head, so we'd have to give her a bath. And so now the facility actually handles that, which is great because she would fight us, and it was horrible just to have her, take a bath, and to help her clean herself, and and she had these periods where she would go through everything she owned, which wasn't much, but she would go through everything, take it out, put it back, take something else out, put it back, and then she would think that she lost something, and it's, and she still to this day does it. And actually, I just was at the facility and they had locked up a lot of her stuff because she continuously goes through everything and leaves it out, or she's constantly just going through everything, which again is another symptom, another side effect of this disease, and there's nothing she can do about it. But in 2 years, she's gone from using the restroom to now needing adult diapers. She's gone from speaking complete sentences to, certain sentences, and then she's also hallucinating. I was talking to her earlier in the car, and I was talking to her, and she was like, "No, not you." And then she turned to the window and was talking to somebody, and there was no one there. So, again, there's been a lot of changes, and I can't help any of those changes, and I can't help any of those symptoms, and all I could do is hopefully that there's medication or some side, something that we could do, an activity or something that can change her to a normal functioning person as much as she can be. She's also been more aggressive, and so we've had to be proactive in that, and with her attacking not only people, but just randomly, and it's scary and it's sad, and there's nothing we could do about it. It's not our mom, and then sometimes she'll be talking about herself, and we know that she's talking about herself, and she'll just be like, she'll tell me that she's sorry, and I'm like, it's okay. And it's not her fault. It's this disease, and it robs her of herself. And when she was first diagnosed, and she was still able to communicate, and she made me her POA, she would tell me that she was sorry, that because I had a giant binder full of paperwork, and she she'd just be like, "I'm so sorry, you shouldn't have to do this." It doesn't matter if I should or shouldn't. It's you're my mom, I'm gonna take care of you as much as I can. And she would just tell me that she was sorry, and I just don't tell me you're sorry, it's fine. And it's hard. It really is hard. And yeah, it's just hard. Sorry. Today I took her to her doctor's appointment at her psychiatrist, and she's now having issues getting in and out of vehicles, and it's taking me 15 minutes just to get her in the car, and sitting on her butt, because she doesn't understand how to get in the car. And and she's with her behavior lately, she actually had a magazine from the waiting room in the office, and she took the magazine, rolled it up, and then smacked me in the face with it. And I had to tell her, I'm like, "No, Mom, it's that's not nice." It's we don't hit people, because you can't it's like speaking to a child. You have to tell them, you know, like, it's not nice, you gotta be nice, and I don't know if she understands it or not, but, you know, I have to tell her that it's, you know, it's like, that hurt, you shouldn't do that, you know, and she just laughed, but she didn't know who I was today, and, you know, it's hard, and, like, when I first saw her this morning, she came running up to me, and she was just like, Mom, and, you know, we used to joke, too, like, when she was first diagnosed, because I was taking care of all of her paperwork and all of her stuff, and, you know, she'd just be like, yes, mother, you know, and she still does that, you know, occasionally, like, just, you know, and I know she's joking, but, I mean, today when she, you know, you could definitely tell she wasn't joking when she ran up to me and called me Mom, and I was like, yeah, I'm here, I was like, hi, and then, you know, she didn't know who I was, and I asked her, I was like, do you know my name, and she just looked at me, and she's like, yeah, and then she didn't want to talk, and she, you know, I was just like, okay, and then she doesn't, today was a bad day. Today was a bad day for her, and, you know, and we'll have those bad days, and, you know, she'll not know who I am, she'll not know who my brother and my sister are, and, you know, it's those days that scare me, because I just, you know, I know that she's in there, and I know she's fighting. It's just really hard. Like, how can you watch your mother go through this disease that robs her of herself and robs her children of their mother and her grandchildren of their grandmother? Like, you know, my mom wasn't the best mom, but she, you know, did her best and she tried. You know, there's some things that, you know, every kid doesn't enjoy things about their mom. You know, and my mom wasn't, you know, the picture perfect one, but, you know, she was our mom, and she still is our mom, but, you know, she's starting to speak gibberish, and we don't understand her, and it's just, it's really hard, and I don't know anymore. It's just, you know, this disease, everybody, you know, that doesn't understand this disease, you know, just thinks it's, you know, like, okay, the person is, you know, just loses their memory. No, not only do they lose their memory, they lose their motor functions. So brushing their teeth, washing their hair, counting to 10, like anything, you know, tying their shoes, putting on clothes. We're now having to dress her and tie her shoes for her and brush her hair, you know, so those things that we take for granted every day, she's not able to do anymore. She's just not. And it's, you know, so now she just loses her memory. She loses basically herself. You know, she doesn't know, you know, what she likes anymore. She doesn't, she's forgetting how to eat. She's forgetting how to use a utensil. She's, you know, she's wasting away because she won't eat. And she's starting to not want to swallow things. And it's scary. And this disease is a horrible disease. And I don't wish anybody, not anybody. We watched my grandfather go through it, and now my mother. It's just, it's a disease that needs a cure, and it needs a cure today. I know it's too late for my mother, but for my brother, my sister, myself, my children, my grandchildren, like, this disease shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be. They say that it only affects the older, and you know, and those people have lived full lives, and that's great that they've lived full lives, but no one should go through this disease, even if they're in their 90s. Their last days should not be having someone remind them of who they are, or try to remember what they had said last time. this disease is horrible. And for someone so young, it's basically robbing them of half their life. It's a disease that robs families. It's a disease that's just, it's terminal.